Well, hello. Welcome to Tarot to a T. Today we're going to do a mid-December 2022 reading for the sign of Sagittarius. If this is the first time to my channel, if you have a channel, that's great. But we're talking about my channel. What a weird thing to say. Anyway, welcome. I'm not usually this goofy. And if you're returning, thank you very much for coming back. I appreciate your support, and I'm glad to see you here again. So, I'm going to open this up with a general inquiry. What message does Sagittarius need to hear for mid-December 2022? We're almost at the end of the year, Sagittarius. I hope you're prepared. I think I am. Not sure. Jury's out on that one. But what message does Sagittarius need to hear? You have something going on for sure. Yep. Because I got a bunch of double cards coming out. A lot of information in those. Cards of advice. Cards of advice. Cards of advice. Cards of advice. Okay. Let's get into it. Queen of Clubs, Nine of Clubs. Interesting. So the Queen of Clubs, I got a little story to tell about her because she's actually come out in every single reading for December, including the ones I did a couple of weeks ago. Except for one sign off the top of my head, I know for some reason she didn't appear. I think that Queen of Clubs energy is pertinent because, first of all, she's a fire sign, so she could be a Sagittarius around you, or a Leo or an Aries, but she's also very generous and supportive, and I think it's kind of an overall arching theme that since it's the holidays, perhaps we need to be kinder and more supportive of others in general. I just wanted to throw that in there. I do realize we have this Nine of Clubs in here, so I think it might be a tad bit of a different message for you here, Sagittarius. Again, the Queen has like this subtle authority and power, generous and supportive person with some experience. And the Nine of Clubs is an achievement of some sort. It's feeling very, very satisfied with an outcome. It's also a completion. Perhaps you have stepped up to the plate, Sagittarius. I'm going to give you some credit here. And you have supported someone or something, like a cause, an organization in some way, that has been very self-satisfying in some way. Like you derived a lot of fulfillment from it. But let's keep going. I don't mean to go on and on about that one. But the Four of Diamonds, nice. So there's some kind of windfall that's come your way that has provided a fair amount of stability and security in your home life. Goes without saying. But the Four of Diamonds also is a warning about overspending. So it is the holidays. Maybe you're tempted to treat people to gifts that, typically they would be outside your budget. I'm hearing something like that. But you're reaping some kind of financial reward, I think, in some way. Maybe because of this completion here. Or, it could be that Queen of Clubs is somebody else who bestowed you with some kind of prosperity, abundance, a gift of some sort. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm not sure if that's pertinent to everyone. It probably wouldn't be. But anyway. Six of Clubs, Ace of Spades. Ouch. Okay, so the Ace of Spades is a tower. This is the tower in the traditional tarot. In cartomancy, it's also a new start. And we all have heard the spiel about towers. They're not necessarily something to fear. But something did crumble. The structure on the foundation crumbled. It is gone. So you're in the process of rebuilding. This is going to be a powerful reading. I can just tell you that right now. Because the Six of Clubs with that tower talks about personal growth. So whatever you've gone through, whatever you're in the process of rebuilding, you are growing by leaps and bounds. And it could be in any sense, honestly. It could be spiritually, emotionally, mentally, even financially, since we did see the four diamonds out here. But I think it's a little bit broader than just becoming wealthy. I think there's something profound here. Something very profound, especially with the combination of this energy, which I'm still very transfixed by for some reason. A completion and a satisfaction with the king. I keep saying king, but it's the queen of clubs. Something very fascinating about that. Anyway, I will keep going. Six of spades, five of clubs. Wow. So with that personal growth, with the six of clubs, with the six of spades, you're looking at destiny and fate. So whatever has transpired was part of your life course, your path, your soul contract, however you want to think of it. If you entertain it, concepts like that, that's what it's talking about here. It's also talking about, in both cases with both sixes, it's opening up opportunities and options to you that probably weren't available prior to this tower moment. Whatever had to go away, whatever you're in the process of rebuilding, it has opened up doors that just didn't exist before, and that's pretty profound in itself. Now with the five of clubs, it tells me whatever did transform. I almost said change, but transform. It was overdue, because the five of clubs is about changes that occur that are necessary out of stagnation. It's like breaking out of a cycle, breaking out of a pattern, the stagnancy associated with that. And that again is tied to the six of spades, which is about your fate. You're on a very definite path here, and it's all in the cards, as they say. It was all meant to happen and unfold this way. Wow. Okay, so we're going to ask for more clarification on what Sagittarius is experiencing in mid-December, for sure. Yikes. Another 9. Whatever completed here was wish fulfillment. You are deeply satisfied and fulfilled on a deep level. Very nice. So this tower moment, however devastating, has brought you great abundance as far as happiness, contentment, a little bit of prosperity perhaps. It's actually the best of all worlds, and it's the best example of a tower needing to fall. Five of clubs, right? Needing to fall. And because you needed to free up whatever was keeping you stuck. You were stuck in some sense. That might be more, it might become more clear to me as we go along, but you would know how that fits your situation, but don't make it fit if it doesn't. That's my disclaimer. Use your good judgment. The five of spades, yes, there was some kind of breakup. I want to lean towards the romantic interpretation of this card, because this devastating thing could have been the end of a relationship for sure. Would make a lot of sense, or it could have been something else. It could have been the dissolution of a company, or you losing a job or a career that you had for the past 20 years. Definite breakup though. It was due to unforeseen circumstances outside of your control. It's not like you initiated this. It's not like you've been thinking about this for a long time. It just kind of came upon you, if that makes sense. But it is a wish fulfillment as well, because the Nine of Hearts is there. You probably didn't know it at the time that it was going to be so satisfying. Whatever ended, whatever had to come crashing down. I'm sure you didn't realize that at the time. But in retrospect, I think you're in that. I think what we're seeing is you, and looking at it in retrospect and contemplating the long-ranging effects of this, and they're actually quite good and positive. So the King of Spades came out. You could be dealing with an air sign, a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Kings are more dominant and controlling. In a situation they have a lot of power and authority much more than a queen. It's not gender, it's just about the power and the energy behind it. The thing is, though, you are dealing with an air sign, they're causing some problems. You're not on the same page with them, or they're not on the same page with you. It's like an argument. It's like a disagreement, and you can't come to terms. You can't compromise. Other than that, the King of Spades is very good in business. They have very good head on their shoulders. They can make decisions. I think this breakup might have had to do with the air sign, this king. Now, this could have been an employer, for sure. It could have been like the king in specificity here. The king could have been a supervisor, a CEO, somebody really in charge. Yeah, but that's what the breakup is. And again, you're very satisfied with it. It's not as awful as it seems on the surface, which is very interesting. Usually I see some cards of like a person being in distress or just being angry, being down and out, but I'm not really seeing that with you, Sag. So it looks like you've adjusted to this situation in any case. And look, the card of separation. Surprise, surprise. Again, changes. This does talk about physical change. So if it was a relationship, if that's the way this reading applies to you, there has been like two people not living together anymore. If it's a job situation, which I'm kind of leaning towards more a job situation, especially with the finances being highlighted here, and just this overall contentment. I mean, because I'm going to be honest, if it was like a relationship that broke up, now it could have happened suddenly, but most of the time, my experience is when relationships are going south, it kind of lingers on for a while. It's not like you just get up one day and decide, yeah, we're going to break up. It doesn't usually happen that way. I mean, I'm sure there's exceptions to the rule. So I think this is a job situation, and you're separated from it now. It's affected you emotionally. Whether a situation or a separation is for the best or not, it still affects you on some physiological level. So I think that's highlighted there with that Five of Hearts. Any other information you can tell me about Sagittarius's very, very interesting situation here that they've been going through? Three of Hearts. There might be a little bit of an indecision on your part about what to do next. It's in romance, this can be a third party. I don't tend to look at it that way, is not necessarily a third party. I mean, it could involve a person, but not romantically, right? To me, it's usually a third element, an influence that's kind of pulling you in two different directions and leaving you undecided. Again, the case is it's affecting you in an emotional level. So you still are dealing with the fallout, even though there's contentment and wish fulfillment. You're still dealing with some fallout from it. Yeah. And you're growing probably by leaps and bounds. Anyway, let's look at your cards of advice. Eight of Diamonds. You're ready to break out on your own. This is the entrepreneurship card. Very exciting. I'm pretty sure this reading is talking to Saggies who ended a career or a job situation, okay? Eight of Diamonds does talk about going out on your own, starting a solo effort, but the thing is, it's about reaping the rewards from that. So if you've already started it, you are probably going to see the rewards from your efforts soon. Or this could be nudging you in that direction. That could be like what some of this indecision is about. Should you break out on your own, and how you should go about it, and what you should be doing. Two of Clubs. Some communication needs to occur here to restore the balance. Okay, could be with a spouse, could be with business partners. Somebody potentially who you want to work with or just somebody who could give you advice, but there's some communication issues there. Jack of Clubs. Could involve a younger fire sign, or I can say it could be you, but it's a Sagittarius, Aries, Leo energy. I also see the Jack of Clubs as somebody being supportive, like a close friend. The communication may need to happen with this person who's maybe not really younger than you, but less experienced. Yeah, I'm kind of hearing that. Like somebody that potentially you're like, yeah, they would be a good person to team up with. Just because they have less experience doesn't mean anything, right? Because you can learn, you can be taught. Two of Hearts. You're desiring some kind of close companionship here with this Two of Hearts. Now, if we are talking about business, the way I'm interpreting that is you want to collaborate with somebody and you want to be on the same page, and in that sense, your hearts are connected because you have the same goals, right? I'm not saying that this can't turn into romance all of a sudden, because we haven't really seen anything out here like that. I mean, it potentially could have been the breakup and the separation, yes. Nonetheless, in whatever situation, you're desiring this close companionship. You need this partner here to be on the same page with you. I think the advice is actually saying with this communication and you kind of breaking out on your own in whatever sense that means for you. And perhaps you have your eye on a Jack of Clubs. I mean, I'm kind of switching the scenario because I realize this could be a romance reading. Hold on one second. I think my camera just flipped off. Give me 1 second. It did not. I don't know what I heard. I've been really paranoid about that lately because I've had... I had a reading the other night that I did that never got recorded, and I was not happy. Spending all that energy into... And the reading was actually very good, and then realizing it never recorded. So anyway, you could have your eye on a Jack of Clubs. Again, a younger fire sign. Somebody who you view as being less experienced in some manner. But I'm seeing, I don't know, I keep thinking business. I do. But I could see how this reading could apply in a romantic situation, especially with it being faded and personal growth. I don't know how that Four of Diamonds would tie in, because that's definitely finances. Or, I'll take that back. Sometimes when people break up, they have to settle debts and they have to divide up, assets and bank accounts. So maybe that is the scenario for some of you. Anyway, I'm going to keep going, asking cards of advice for Sagittarius for mid-December. Six of Diamonds. You do have some opportunities coming up and options, if they're not already here, that will allow you to take better financial responsibility. That means paying off debt, taking care of things that are needing attention, repair, replacement, you name it. Very nice. So whatever is going on with you, you're kind of headed in that direction. Okay? Any more cards of advice, please? For Sagittarius. 10 of Diamonds. Woohoo. Yeah, see, I don't think this is predominantly romantic. 10 of Diamonds is about the ultimate prosperity and abundance. Celebrations, like you're closing out a chapter because you've kind of reached a major goal in your life, and it has to do with abundance. Doesn't mean you're a millionaire or a tycoon, but maybe in your mind, in your eyes, that's what it is for you. It means that much to you that things are finally at a place where you feel like you've achieved everything you set out to achieve. And that's a great feeling. That in itself can be your abundance. Any more cards of advice, please? 9 of Spades. Yes. So here, the completion. When these 9s and 10s show up in cards of advice, especially if they're darker, this is really the only dark card that I have seen. Well, the breakup card is kind of dark, but this is the only one that has showed up, Sagittarius, and I feel like this is behind you. This was the disappointment. This was the loss that you had to go through, the dissatisfaction. Again, it's about changes being forced upon you, which again is very much like this 5 of Spades. Outside events, coming in and really, disturbing your world, disturbing your life. I see this as just confirming that is all behind you, because you're headed in this fantastic direction. And look at the financial options here and opportunities that are headed your way. Yeah. I think we need to end it there. I guess there's not much else to say. But I will summarize the advice here. Again, there's some kind of communication that needs to occur. If you haven't started on an entrepreneurial path, you are being nudged in that direction. I feel that very, very strongly. And you probably need to pair up with somebody in some fashion. I mean, who knows? Sometimes couples get into business together. That's kind of what draws them together, and then they become romantic, partners. So that could be why there's such a strong emotional element tied up with the partnership, because, like I said, that usually talks about beyond just a platonic friendship or whatnot. You know what I mean? But it's definitely going to be somebody who's on the same page, that has the same ideals, the same goals, the same vision. And it may involve a younger fire sign. Just saying. Okay. Well, I hope you enjoy your holidays. If you would like to see when the next reading comes out, we're probably looking at 2023. I don't know how I could do bonus readings at this point. My schedule's just too full. But please hit subscribe notifications if you'd like to see when that video comes up, or save a video so that you can find my channel again. That's always another way you can do that, okay? I hope this helped. Enjoy your abundance here. Enjoy your holidays, however you're spending them, and I will see you again soon. Take care.